so I'll tell you about Kona and my experience there. So the year was sort of odd in that 2015, in that I signed up for Maryland, and then when I got into Kona, I didn't get to do Maryland, and I wasn't prepared really to do Kona. I think all year long, I really had a big problem with being invited to something that you're really not accomplished to be there. You shouldn't be there, and that's what I thought about Kona. Is that I'm not a great athlete. I'm not a good athlete. My fastest Ironman was probably, well, no, it was Florida. I did Florida in about 11:38 or something, 11:40. But that's a fast, flat course. And so I had this really, to be honest with you, I had this thing all year long where one, I had a couple murder cases, still do, but I had a couple custody cases. So with work, as Kelly had said earlier, that work was really bogging me down. For me, if someone goes to penitentiary, it's a loss. If someone loses their kids, it's a loss. And so that was much more important than how I did in some Ironman race that I do for fun. And truly, Kona, I know the lady's gone now, but man, those are freaking greyhounds. I mean, those are some athletes. The ones that actually qualify, there's some freaking athletes there. And so I knew going into it that I didn't deserve to be there. And so I think probably psychologically that bothered me the whole time. And so leading up to it, I had trained some. I had some bad knees, and so I looked at the course, and I had a plan for the course that was different than any other event that I've ever done, and that is I wanted to finish, because I'm not going there again. I'm not going to get there unless lightning strikes twice and they give me another lottery pick. But I had to finish, because the last thing I wanted to do is go to Kona, have a cramp, have a wreck, have a cold, and not be able to finish. And so my goal was to get out of the swim and finish it and get into the bike. And I'm a decent biker. I'm a pretty steady bike. So on the swim, the problem was the first time I've ever been sick on a swim. I've never been sick on a swim. I've sort of talked to folks and said, I bragged a little bit, Lake Pontchartrain down in 70.3 New Orleans is freaking sometimes swells there on Pontchartrain, and I'm able to swim over swells and get through it. Well, this time I swam out to the glove. What's the glove place there? That you swim around the boat. Yeah. And so Eric told me, hey, go out there and they'll throw you stuff, on the practice, and I did that. And we had a great time on practice, but come race day, freaking swells were going. It's pretty decent. So I went around the boat, okay, and about the time I got around the boat, the women age groupers who were 5 minutes behind me started just running my ass over. They started running my ass over. So I made it halfway, came around the boat, the body glove boat, and they started just jumping me. And then no mercy. And then the swells, I guess, from going right to left started coming left to right. And I guess for some reason, I've never been sick. I got sick. Didn't throw up, but it was my slowest swim ever. And got out of that, and we'd already talked about the goal for the day, and that was 16 and a half on the bike. And I can bike 16 and a half all day, any day. I'm an okay biker, And so I had to really, and I guess this is a testament about what most of us do, and that is stay within your plan. And so, while I can bike, I've biked 18, 19 mile an hour on Ironman, I wanted to go 16 and a half and keep it at that, because I did not want to bomb. I could not fail. And so all day long, I'm just eating salt all day long, and just trying to prepare myself later on for the run walk. And I knew it was going to be a run walk from then. And so, on the bike, it was out to Javi. On Javi, we start to climb. It's raining. wind in our face, but still I was okay with that because it's 16 and a half. Just toot on the hill and turn around and come back. And I was really within my comfort zone all day on the bike, and I knew that I could do that. I was 18, I was 16, and so all day long I just stayed within my plan, and as most of us do. We have a plan, and got out onto the run, and the run was hot. It was hot, but I walked, the first 9 miles, and got out onto the highway, and it was just a run walk. At mile 9 or so, I came up against Chris Borden. Of course, was finishing. And Chris comes up and gives me a big hug, and he says, "This is a freaking death march." But of course, he was finishing. And Chris is the #1 finisher in Chattanooga at least 2 years ago. Probably the top age grouper for Ironman that we know. And he was walking. And it surprised me. But he had gone out, not 16 and a half, he'd gone out 22. And it just beat him. We had 120 degrees out on the road. But I had my cooling sleeves on. And I guess this is what we have to do as Ironman, is we have to know what we can do. And so within that race, I knew what I had to do. And so each aid station on the bike, I would drink a bottle, throw it down, grab a water bottle, and just wet my sleeves down and go on. And I was comfortable. I was never hot on the bike. On the run, it was a suck fest, from the get-go. It was a run walk the whole way. But it was okay because that's what I planned on doing. So we get out on the highway, and now, of course, my favorite time of the day, dark. And so I've got my little headlamp on, and I'm able to go from the one cone to the next cone that's reflective. And so, I run 2, walk 1, run 2, walk 1. And if you look at my time, it's like 15 minutes. And you think, well, that sorry bastard, he's just walking the whole way. No! I was running and walking the whole freaking way. I'm just a horrible, Dawn and other folks I know can walk fast. Gina can. If I could run as fast as Gina walks, I would never run. But I can't. I'm like a 20-minute mile walker. And so when you see my time at 12:50 running, that's me walking pretty hard. And so, we get out there at mile 16 or so, we get to the energy lab. The energy lab was the darkest freaking place on the course. No light whatsoever. No cones whatsoever. We were out in the dark.
Was it stinky this year?
Well, it stank the whole time, but I think it was mostly me. So, out there. And so, it was just a run walk the whole way. But, I thought I could do 15, a real conservative plan. And I'm a 12:45 Ironman if I get to train. And I thought, 15, would be pretty conservative, but I wanted to finish. I'll never get there again. And I think I finished probably 15:30 or so. So, it's like anybody. You can do it if you want to do it. Just stick to the plan. Grade the last 100 yards going down through the finish like all of us did. So, and I wanted to have some more people here to talk about those goals for them in the upcoming years. And I think we have a lot to tell those people is that, Melissa, Greg, all of us, we can impart to them that they can do it. All you got to do is have a plan. And Melissa having a suck fest out there at Arizona, we all have those. And,
Gordon Ramsay didn't finish.
Well, I beat Gordon Ramsay.
Really? I mentioned that Gordon Ramsay. So, you beat Gordon Ramsay. You mentioned that Gordon Ramsay did not finish. And the Hobbit, Sean Astin.
Well, I'm saying, I'm glad you beat. You said I beat Gordon Ramsay because that's who you were focused on. But
he did look.
Rennie, I beat Rennie. The champion, the world triathlon champion.
He
Kona.
beat Rennie, Gordon Ramsay, and
the Hobbit.
Rudy. And the Hobbit. And I should be the Hobbit the way I run.
And Rudy. And Rudy.
So,
well, they obviously don't have what it takes.
Apparently.
they did not plan the way Parker did.
And what it really is someone like Dawn being a Sherpa, being out there supporting us. You know, if
They don't have
someone,
time.
you know, Dana can attest to it. You know, if you got someone out there supporting you, it makes it so much easier. You know, so that's why it matters. Yeah. And Kendra has nobody. she has Marie. Yes.
My sister.
Her sister,
Her sister forgot where she parked the car.
So I would like us to go out there and get other people involved in these, because I think there is this mystique about it. And once you do one of them, like Maureen was saying, is that once you do even a part of it, you know you can do it. You know, it's not that difficult. You know, you just have to manage the race. So let's get out there and support the Ironman.
I would like to challenge everyone who has finished an Ironman who has never been at the finish line for someone else. It is a completely different experience.
Yeah.
You never understand how it feels to see those people cross the finish line if you've never done that. I mean, I know it's an awesome accomplishment to finish, but unless you've been there to watch someone that you love finish,
Or like
that's a
for
whole
me,
nother
waiting
world.
for people that I had run walk with.
yeah.
You know, and like my cousin said, I was very fortunate to have my cousins there. They were like the bomb of Sherpa. But they said they had an invested relationship. Where's Bob? Does anybody see Bob? Where's Carol?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Totally.
It's Carolina. And we go, it's Carol, but she's getting back. And they had gotten invested with all these people themselves. And they're like cheering them on.
You do.
Did so and so make it? I don't know. I don't think she
You meet
made
people's
it. You know, they're
families.
like, that's like, they're like, talking about all these people, like, who are you talking about?
You meet people's families, and you know they don't
Yeah.
have a app or whatever to track their loved one.
Yeah.
You're pulling their person up, so it's a totally different experience.
Yeah, and I, of course, have my Sherpa, you know, I come across the finish line at Kona, and I'm slapping hands. You know, you go down the 150 yards, it's Kona, it's the world championship, and my Sherpa is there, and of course, who did I hug? Cena. Cena was there, who came to camp a few years ago.
That was so funny.
Yeah, Cena was there and said, Parker, oh, you're here. I said, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I broke through the barricade. Yeah, no, I finished. You know, here's my,
I've
yeah.
seen
That was so funny because she was
Can
there.
you comment on the wins? You know, that's so legendary. Something on the
It was
bike.
a suck fest, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
The
It was going out. Of course, it was coming against you a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to pedal hard. I'm really trying to keep within 16.5 miles an hour. And we go up, like I said, Javi, rain in our face. We turn around and come back. It's really fast, that 5 or 6 miles. But then when we turn back towards Kona, the wind was to our right and across our shoulder coming at us. And it was that way for 40-something miles.
And
It
it's
was
3%.
tough.
Yeah, and how
Yeah.
fast would you say the gusts were sustained?
I was on that.
Is it over 20 sustained?
No, I don't think it was over 20 sustained at all, but you know, on the suck fest meter, it was a suck fest. I mean, it was just really, it was constant right here. And so with about 15 miles to go, I passed somebody, and I was conservative all day. So like Kelly said on the run, when I was coming back in on the bike, I was passing a lot of people because I felt okay. And so when I'm coming back with 15, 18 miles to go, the guy says, that I just passed, he says, how much further? I said, well, I think it's about an hour or so back, you know, because I'm thinking 15, 16 miles an hour. It took an hour and a half. I mean, it was straight up coming at you. So it
Would
was
it blow
tough.
you across the road, or did it not?
It did not blow me across the road, but I mean, the wind gusts would rattle you a little bit. So, and I guess it's that way, Eric knows, it's probably that way every year.
It's every day.
Every
Every hour is different. I've been out there on Hobby where you could not stand up on the side of the road
Yeah.
without being blown. Now, I actually had a car and I was leaning against the car,
Yeah.
so I didn't get blown over, so I could watch what was going on. And it changes. 30 minutes is like that, then it moves. It's like it's wrong, and it chases the cyclists.
Yeah.
Because when you're coming back in later in the day, it's like,
Yeah.
no,
So-
we're going to give you some more.
So yeah, we're going up, you know, at mile 40 or so, you know, the wind's in your face and you're thinking, well, hell, on the way back, I'll have this.
Awesome.
I'll have it, man, cool. And so you climbing and all that, and you know, the rain is really hitting you in the face and it's in your face and you're thinking, hell, when I go back towards Kona, it's going to be right against my back. I'm going to push hard. And then when you come down, it's against you again. It has circled around that island. And it's an all-day
It's
suck
really,
fest.
it's
Yeah.
really.
So yeah, it's just and again, you know, I'm not Dink on the run, you know, I'm not a world-class athlete, you know, I'm not Eric on the bike, a world-class athlete, so I'm out there, you know, I'm out there, I'm like Kendra on the swim, and so you're out there amongst truly the best in the world, and that's a little different in that, you know, when I go to a race, you know, I like to joke, I like to get people to joke, and I had a great time. You know, we had a great vacation, but those guys are fucking serious. I mean, they should be, because they're going for a world championship, you know, and so you expect that from them. So it's a little different, and everybody needs to keep doing Ironman and get in that lottery.
Or you have that spouse who is that athlete who signs you up for a try the weekend before you come home, and you've never swam open water in the ocean.
A bike that weighs 55 pounds.
And there was a high surf advisory when you're
Oh my God.
It's your bike.
and rent you a bike that's
Well, and
$10 a day.
don't have that bike and
$12,000 bicycle.
I mean,
Yeah.
$10 a day.
So yeah, I think the bike that we rented her for that little try was probably worth at least $50. Yeah. And so I'm helping with the
20 years
race, and she comes back towards me. I'm out on the, you know, I'm guiding traffic, and then the athlete's coming through, and she rolls past me. She says, "There's something wrong with this bike." I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's something wrong with this bike. That's probably the peddler, you know, because we ain't trained to do this." So I get back to transition. Sure enough, there's a broken spoke, and so that tire was doing this, hitting the brake every time around. So,
That was the longest 10 miles
of
of
your
your life.
all right, thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.